Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Boris from your Ecology Design Studio. Today we're taking a look at arrays, the Vlookup function, and other conditional functions. The file I'm working with right now, it's called Vlookup Example Doc and is available on our website for free if you'd like to follow along or just play around on it. Let's begin with arrays. Arrays are used to create formulas that affect a group of cells. It makes working with large data sets a bit simpler. We're going to add the cells in the range A2 through A6 to its partner range of B2 through B6. There's no particular reason why we're adding here. It's just an example demonstrating how to create an array. So select the range C2 through C6 and press the equal sign to begin an array formula. Then select the first range A2 through A6, press the plus sign, and select the second range B2 through B6. Now, instead of pressing enter, press Ctrl Shift, hold it, and then press enter. That fills in an array. We have now created an array. Note that Excel will not let you delete a single cell, and if you delete the values in a row, an array will use 0 as a value for a deleted cell value, not null. To get a null value, you must delete the entire row. You can do this easily by clicking on the row, right-click, and then delete. If we click delete right now on just one of the cells, a little dialog box is going to pop up and tell you that you cannot change a part of an array. The way to change an array is to go into the cell where you entered the formula and then change the formula manually. Now let's take a look at conditional if statements and how we can use them in conjunction with arrays. Suppose you're a teaching assistant at a university and you've been given the task to determine whether students in a course have passed or failed. The criteria is simple. If the student has earned a score of 50 or higher, he or she passes, otherwise they fail. Rather than look at each and every individual score, you can use a conditional if statement and enter it as an array. While it may seem trivial to do so for the small dataset we have before us, imagine having to do this for 20 or 30,000 students at a university. Arrays can save us time and prevent errors. Take a look at the range A10 through A30 where we have the scores for a class of several students. Select the range B10 through B30 and press the equal sign to begin an array formula and type the following. Equals if, and now we see the arguments of this equation, the logical test, the value of true, and the value of false. The logical test will be a range A10 through A30 greater than 50, comma, in double quotes we're going to say pass, and comma, in double quotes, fail. That's telling Excel to look at the range A10 through A30 with each individual cell and determine whether the value exceeds 50. If it does, it will return a string of pass. If it doesn't, it will return a string of fail. You can press enter at this point and click on the fill handle and go all the way down through B30. Or alternatively, you can select the entire range, type the formula, and then create an array by pressing Control Shift and then enter. Now then, we have determined which students have passed and which have failed. We're not quite done yet as the school requires us to assign a letter grade to each student. For this, we're going to use a nested if statement. Up to 64 if statements or if functions can be nested in a single statement, allowing for complex logical tests. For our purposes, we're going to create an if statement with 4 arguments and 3 nested if conditions. Select the cell C10, press the equal sign to begin a formula, and type the following. Notice that we're not making an array here. So equals, and I'm going to type the formula and then I'm going to explain it, will be A10 greater than 89, return A, return B, return C, return D, okay, I believe this is correct. So the formula is as follows. If cell A10 is greater than, or if the value in cell A10 is greater than 89, return A. If not, go to the next nested if statement and determine if it's greater than 79. If it is, return B. If not, go to the next statement and check if it's greater than 69. If it is, return C. If not, go to the next nested or the last nested if statement and see if it's greater than 59. If it is, return D. And the value if false is F. So if all logical arguments fail to prove true, then return F. And we're going to close this with 4 parentheses because we have 4 different arguments. We're going to press enter, and then I'm going to click on the fill handle on the bottom right corner all the way down through C30. And as you can see now, I have the letter grade for each student in the course determined. We're almost done. Our next requirement is to further differentiate between students with the same grade. At the moment, a student earning an 80 has the same grade as a student earning an 89. We're going to use the plus or minus modifiers, and to accomplish this we could use another nested if function, but there are far too many grade variations for this to be an efficient method. For example, there's A plus, A minus, B plus, B minus, C plus, C minus, and so on and so forth down through F. We'll use the Vlookup function instead. The Vlookup function looks up a value in the first column of a dataset and returns an associated value from a predetermined table column that we see here in the range of H2 through J14. The formula will be in the format of Vlookup parentheses the lookup value, the table array, the column index number, and the range lookup. First, we'll convert the raw score to a percent in Excel. In cell D10, begin a formula with equals, type 0.01 times, and then click on A10 or type A10 and press enter. We have now converted the first score to from 49 to 49%. If we were simply to type in 49 or try to convert 49 to percent, it's going to move that 2 decimal places to the right and throw a percent sign on it, so it would be 4900%. And we wanted to convert this to 0.49. That's why we did this. Now we're going to convert that percentage, or the student's percentage, to a cumulative point total out of 300 points. That means that a student earning 50% in the course will have earned 150 out of a total of 300 available points. To determine the points, begin a formula with equals. Click on the percent in cell C or D10 times 300. Press enter, and then select that cell. Click on the fill handle on the bottom right and fill it all the way down through cell E30. We now have the points earned by each student in the course. So the first student, having earned a 49% in the course, has 147 out of 300 points, whereas a student earning 100% in the course has earned all 300 points in the course. This will help us determine the plus or minus modifiers for the final student grade here. To make our task even easier, I'm going to give a name to this range of H2 through I14. I'm going to call it modifiers. As you can see, I've already called it that. You can give it any name you like. If I click on each independent cell, you'll see the name of the cell, I11, H8, H4, I5. That's because these cells do not have individual names determined by me. But if I select the entire range, it tells me the name modifiers because that's what I've called the range H2 through I14. And it will make it easier when we're working with the Vlookup arguments in our formula. Okay, so now that we have determined the points earned by each student in the class and named a reference table, we're ready to determine the final grades with a plus-minus modifier. Click on the function icon and select the Vlookup argument. The function icon is up here towards the top. Click on that. And if you don't see Vlookup immediately, type in Vlookup in the search function and press go. I'm going to click OK. And as mentioned previously, these are the arguments of the Vlookup function. Now enter the following values. For the lookup value, enter E10. For the table array, enter modifiers or type the name that you gave it. For the column index number, type 2. And then the formula result will show up down here if you want to check before you click OK. The column index number simply tells Excel to look in the second column of our table array, namely I2 through I14. I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to use my fill handle and drag all the way down, and voila, you can see clearly that we have F, B+, C+, A-. Basically we have the final grade for each student with a plus or minus modifier. Well, our task is finally complete as we have the final grades. I hope this will help you in your projects. If you have any questions, please let me know down below in the comments. Also, check out the description of this video below for the formulas and for links to this Excel file on our website. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on our Ecology Designs production.